Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It is the 14th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Pele, Yoetz.
Okay, so we read this last, or not the last, it's the second to the last paragraph, a long one at that. We saw the psukim, Mishlei, and Koheles, and the Gemara Kedushin, and okay, so right, but what comes out is that the Pele Yoetz is in a place where there's kviya hazeka, where danger is prevalent, like the translator explains. So then it's a different story, like the Gemara mentioned with the shaky ladder. Even though the person went up to, he was listening to the father and doing the mitzvah shluach hakein. Rach the Yomim says the Torah openly in both of those mitzvahs, and yet if it's a shaky ladder, so then that's not one has to refrain, get another ladder and do the mitzvah like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the point. Oh, he does make a interesting qualification at the end of this paragraph on top of page 345. He says, if it happens that a person is put into a situation not of his own doing, that he is in a place of danger. So he has no alternative. So he should to get out of, I guess, the situation in a way that he could get out of it. So then he has to daven to Hashem, that Hashem does a nace for him, because he wants to continue to live and be able to serve Hashem. So he prevails upon Hashem to have chesed and rachamim on him. And he says in that case, it will not be deducted from his merits. So I would infer from here that the Pele Yoetz is understanding that only in a situation where a person did an aveira, which requires Hashem to do a nace for him, to save him from a dangerous situation. He put himself into that situation through his own carelessness. So then, that's the Gemara in Kedushin that says that if Hashem, we don't know that Hashem will do a nace for him in that situation, but if he does, so for that reason, he should not put himself into such a situation like that, relying on the nace. And even if Hashem does, so then it will be deducted from his merits, because he was the one that violated the pasuk of Tishmor nafshasecha ma'od. And it was his doing that he put himself in that place of danger. And so in that case, his merits get deducted, and on top of the fact that he gets consequences for having done an avera, like all averas. But over here, where he's not the one that's responsible for putting himself into that situation of danger, and he could. So what he should do, he should daven to Hashem to save him from this dangerous situation. Have rachmanis on him. Give him chesed, and that he even right, even if he may not deserve that, and in that case, he says Hashem will not deduct from the merits. So it would seem, if we go one step further with this, it would seem like that really is the situation that happened with Yaakov Avinu. So that's the difficulty that we pointed out on Erev Shabbos. That the Gemara is saying only when a person violates the command to guard his life very carefully, only then his merits will be deducted from. But Yaakov Avinu didn't do any avera to put himself in a place of danger. It wasn't his doing. So the Pele Yoetz says over here, Enochanami, in such a situation like that, nothing will be deducted if Hashem does even a nace for him to save him from this dangerous situation. Won't be deducted from him any merits, and all the more so if he's not in a situation of danger, and Hashem just showers him with chesed and rachamim, like that's what Hashem does. All the more so we would say Hashem doesn't deduct from his merits if a person gets all this rachamim and chesed. So
I think if we just look for a second at Yaakov's statement, I have been made small by all the kindness and the truth, because I crossed the Jordan with my staff, and now I'm two camps. And consider the Rashi comment that Yaakov was afraid that he sinned. I think maybe what he's saying is that there's a danger if a person is the recipient of miracles from Hashem that benefit him greatly, that he can become arrogant, and it's an environment where he's in greater danger of doing something wrong, and that's what he was afraid of. Not that anything was being deducted, like you just said, but that he was in danger, and maybe he messed up, maybe he sinned, and therefore is going to lose out.
Okay. Don't remember right now whether Rashi brings the on that pasuk with Yaakov Avinu that doesn't say over there he was that his merits would be deducted.
No, I don't think so. I think Rashi just says that he was afraid that he had sinned. I don't think Rashi says anything about merits being deducted.
So it's, Okay, I don't have that. But then, if so, then it would be difficult to understand where does the Gemara get this idea from it altogether about merits being deducted. If one is Hashem does a nice, where is that? What's the Gemara brings this episode as the makor for its principle.
Right. So it's pasuk 11.
Yeah.
And Rashi says, Katanti mikol ha-chasidim, I've been diminished by all the kindnesses. My merits have been reduced through the kindnesses and the truth that you have done me. Therefore, I am afraid lest since the time you promised me, I have become soiled with sin, and it will cause me to be given over into the hand of Esau. And by all the truth of your words that you kept for me, all the promises that you promised me, and with my staff. I did not have anything with me, not silver, not gold, not livestock, just my staff alone. That's what he says. So you could take this first statement, my merits have been reduced. Nis ma'atu zechuyosai. You could take that as a statement that his merits are subtracted, I suppose. This word nis ma'atu, they're translating it as reduced. But I'm focusing on the fact that it says, therefore, lechach, I am afraid that maybe I sinned. What's the therefore? The therefore, I think, is saying that he's afraid that because he got all this kindness and now he's so wealthy, that he's got a lot of responsibility now. When he first came over, he just had a staff. He had no responsibility. He had no basis for arrogance or any of the any of the problems that come with being wealthy and being successful.
Oh, so interesting. So you're asking what's the lakach in the Rashi?
Right.
Lakach. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I think we've beaten this to death.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's very it's very good.
I appreciate your spending the time on it though, because it's important to me. I think it's an important issue in terms of one's view of the world and how a person interacts with Hashem and with his circumstances.
Okay, good.
Good morning, Rabbi Levitt.
Good morning, Roy.
Sorry, I'm late. Anyway,
Okay, good. I haven't heard from Alan. I hope Alan's okay.
I saw him yesterday. He was fine.
Oh,
He's doing an evaluation today. That's right. The city is providing he and his wife with assistance because of the different problems that they're having.
yeah.
They're coming out to evaluate him and his wife and make a decision about how many hours of assistance they will get.
Okay.
So he's busy with that.
Busy with that. Okay. Yeah, no, actually, I see right now that he did call, but my phone was on silent, so I didn't hear it. Called me at 10:38. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, so we can proceed further. As Hashem. And we're going to go to the last paragraph over here. A person needs to be cautious on page 345. And we call upon Mayor to start the reading today.
Okay. Person needs to be cautious in all the things that are written in the holy books, which are cause for danger. A person who disparages a word will be injured by it. Mishlei. Fortunate is the man who is continuously afraid, but one who hardens his heart will fall into evil. Heaven forbid. Another quote from Mishlei. It is good for a man that he should walk with trust. He should walk with confidence, and he should not seek to know what things are bad and harmful to his body, for perhaps he will not be able to protect himself, and his heart will be afraid, and he will fall into evil, heaven forbid. However, since he does not know, no mishap will befall him, because God protects the simple ones, and a person who trusts in God will be surrounded by kindness, and he will not withhold good from those who walk with trust.
So ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. This is interesting. He doesn't give any sources for this, or just this these psukim in Mishlei. Person needs it's interesting. This is I mean, what about what he said about going to a doctor? I guess that's when he knows that there's something wrong. He said when he knows that there's something wrong, he's got to go to a doctor, get the best medical attention. He has to observe the pasuk of Tishmo es nafsho seichem. Oh, that's called guarding yourself. But he's saying over here that if he doesn't know that there's anything wrong, and I would assume that means he feels fine. So he should not seek, let's just see what it says here. I think the translator probably translated it correctly. Lost my place over here. Where is this? Shmira. Okay, here we are. Tov legever sheyeh holech b'tom. It's good for a person that he should walk with tom. Tom is always a difficult word to translate, but here he seems to be translation is as good as any other word, I would say. He walks with trust. He walks with confidence. Yelech betach v'lo yechapes. He shouldn't seek after investigations. Leida ma hem hadvarim haraim umazikin lagu. Why should he not do this? Because this would seem to be what everybody does. Just go out in the street and listen to what people talk about. Other than the weather and politics, this is, I think, the third major subject.
Well, not only that, but there's lots of tests that the doctors do.
Yeah.
To try and figure out if you have a problem.
Yeah.
I go every 5 years for colonoscopy.
Yeah.
That's all preventative. and I don't thank God I don't have a problem. But I mean, my diabetes, the way I discovered I had diabetes was the doctor said I had a high blood sugar number in my blood test. And I've never felt anything from it, from the diabetes, but I take all this medication.
Hmm. Right? I mean, that's what the standard mode of standard way of hanhaga is. You know, we go to doctors even when we're not sick because we want to do a checkup.
Right,
We do a checkup.
yearly checkup.
Um, yeah. So just to finish this off, to explain, so why is it that we shouldn't do? Why is on the side that he's saying that to minimize looking after things? And by the way, it may be that's a reasonable of guarding oneself to go for a yearly checkup. Because why? Because you know, things could change from the previous year, and you know, I don't know if that's I could hear that would not be inconsistent with what the Pele Yoetz is saying over here. Well, what he might be saying is a person shouldn't be overly, you know, and let's see why it is that he's saying this. He shouldn't look after to see if maybe this is wrong with him, or maybe that is wrong with him, or maybe that is wrong with him. Why should he not do that? What's the downside of it? He says, Hishema lo yuchal hishamer, because in any case, there may be nothing to be done about it. Okay, well, today there's probably always something to do about it, except when the doctors say there's nothing we can do. V'yifchad levaboy v'yipol bara chas v'shalom. The reason why he says that one should not do this overly is because it can cause a person to become afraid and agitated and nervous and worried, and that maybe something bad is going to happen to him. Chas v'shalom. But that's not that's what he says. But since if he doesn't do that, doesn't look after maybe there's something wrong, and he doesn't know whether there's anything wrong, so then lo su'una elav ra, nothing bad will happen to him. He shomer pasayim Hashem. Hashem guards the people that don't know. And then he quotes the pasuk about bitachon, person who's boteach. What's his reason to think that everything is okay? Because Hashem is taking care of him, and he's relying on Hashem to take care of him, just like we're going to take care of Robert Lefkowitz.
Hey,
coming
Robert.
in.
There he is.
Florida.
All right. So it seems like the issue over here is an issue of bitachon. And he quotes this pasuk, Shomer Hashem Bashem. Hashem protects people that especially if their reason is bitachon, they don't see anything that's difficult. So I guess to the extent that a person doesn't have that bitachon, and he is worried. In other words, the main point is don't worry. Don't worry. Maintain your bitachon. Don't worry. Good morning, Robert. Pleasure to have you once again. Wow. 2 days in a row. Incredible. How are you doing? Baruch Hashem.
Oh, and
Doing
Alan
well.
just came.
Alan.
We have too.
And
Wow.
Alan has come in.
Full house.
Baruch Hashem. Wow.
So Rabbi,
How
I
you
would
doing,
like to-
Alan?
Good morning.
Good morning, Alan. How you doing?
All right, we had some people here today about our apartment for final plans. So that's why I couldn't get in here before.
Did you get
Okay.
evaluated, Alan?
Pardon me?
Did you get evaluated for your caregivers?
No, not yet. This was something that we had people come from the building because they're doing a lot of work changes and improvements and setting stuff up. So
Right.
they're gonna change all the windows in the building and they're gonna, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a no.
I mean,
So Rabbi, I would like to suggest that if you insert one word, this would be more understandable. And that word would be excessive. Instead of saying he should not seek to know, you should say he should not excessively seek to know.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay, I hear. Right. Right. The main thing over here that I wanted to point out is that I'm seeing over here from what the words of the Pele Yoetz are is the issue is an issue of having being in a state of serenity, of tranquility, not being nervous, upset, anxious, and aggravated, and et cetera, et cetera. So we know a lot of times the more people get involved in these matters, they just get more nervous and more worried and more afraid of all of the things that they say that could happen to a person, and to get caught up in that type of activity of being concerned about this and being concerned about that and being concerned about the other thing affects a person's well-being, and so therefore I would say as follows. Perhaps for most of us, for all of us really, to not engage at all in any preventative, going to a checkup, when you're supposed to go to a checkup, and things of that matter. It's that would if we wouldn't do that, that would make us nervous. So therefore, in order to do that amount that we need to do in order to feel that we've done what's necessary, what's proper, what's appropriate, what's responsible, and that's what we've done. So then, good, and the proof of the pudding is that we feel, we're able to rely and trust in Hashem, that Hashem is watching us and caring for us, and everything will be good, and He will guard over us. That's so the amount of ishtadlus that we do, hopefully it won't be excessive, because so I would agree with what you're saying, that that's the idea over here. Very good. Okay. Wow, that was an amazing entry. Shmira. Hooray! Page 345. Hooray! Yeah. Oh, actually, we didn't finish it. It's a little premature. Okay. So we're so excited over here that we jumped the gun.
Well,
We
we
gotta
did
go
finish
to,
Shmira, though.
What?
We did finish Shmira.
Yes, yes.
We
Oh,
can
well,
say hooray for that.
We
Yeah.
did.
We did, yeah. Okay. Very good. That's what it is. Okay.
Schok.
Spoke. And with this, we go to Lou to continue the reading and start off Spoke, please.
It's a shva under the sin.
Yes,
Which page we on?
345.
45.
Okay, we have learned in a Mishnah, laughter and frivolity accustom a person to promiscuity. And the sages said, it is forbidden for a man to fill his mouth with laughter in this world. Due to our many sins, there are people who delight in laughter, and there are affluent men who raise in their homes scoffers of the generation, who will know to speak with humor and open their mouths widely with abundant laughter and great revelry. The speaker's heart is content that he succeeded in having the wealthy individuals laugh at his words. He scratches and searches inside of himself for anything else he might say, and any acts of comedy, wit, and frivolity he might perform, in order that they will increase the laughter and jesting. This thing is very common among women and fools. Oh, there we go again. All their words are burning coals. They increase words of profanity and mockery of other people. Woe unto the speakers, and woe unto the laughers. Together they will both pass through the valley of tears. They will turn it into a spring, as our sages described. Excuse me. They weep in Gehenna, and they cry down rivers and streams of tears. This will be the result of their happiness for a sin. Our sages already said the beginning of mockery is suffering, and its end is total destruction. Heaven should save us. As such, a person who guards his life should distance himself from these people, and he must not imitate their actions. If a poor man will say that he does this so that people will open their hands to make charitable donations, for there are wealthy men who open their hands to give more to such people than they give to the poor men of noble descent, and in order that they should sit at the head of the assemblage in the homes of the wealthy men, this too is vanity. It is better for a man to die of hunger than to be a wicked man in the eyes of God for even a moment. Those who seek Hashem will not lack any good.
You know, this seems to, I think what Lou said too, kind of negative, but yet when we begin benching on Shabbos or the holidays, we sing Shir HaMa'alot, which says those return from the captivity of Zion will be like dreamers. Then our mouth will be filled with laughter, and our tongue with glad song.
I think he's talking about the laughter that disparages Hashem and Yiddishkeit.
Ah, okay.
That seems that's a lot what he's talking about, and general laughter that would lead to that where there's a likelihood of the type of person who's causing laughter, and type of person who's laughing, that would lead to disparagement of Yiddishkeit.
I don't see where you're getting that from, Roy. He doesn't say anything about,
He says they increase words of profanity and mockery of other people. Top there. Mockery is suffering, and the end is total destruction. Heaven should save us. You must not imitate people, but you mustn't imitate those people.
but they're talking about people who are humoring the wise, the rich people,
Yeah,
right? They raise in their homes scoffers, and they're making them laugh in order for that they'll get benefits.
Sorry, say that again. And what did you say?
I said, if you look at the beginning, it's talking about wealthy people who have these scoffers who are doing their thing. They're making them laugh, and great revelry.
What are they scoffing? What are they scoffing?
They're scoffing at they're basically making themselves into comedians in front of the wealthy people, so that the wealthy people will laugh at their words, and then they'll get benefit from the wealthy people. They'll give them money and honor and so on.
Because they're sort of agreeing with the wealthy who are scoffers. And if you're scoffing, what are you scoffing? What are you?
Scoffing is when you use humor to ridicule
What?
somebody or
Yeah.
something. Like you ridicule the rebellion against Moshe by Korach, right? They made these plays, and they asked Moshe, do you need techelis on the garment? And Moshe said yes, and they laughed at him. So that's scoffing. They're using humor in order to ridicule the person.
Well, there's fire and there's fire. So I think there's I think the scoffing is bad in itself, and by laughing at the scoffers and what they're scoffing, you're building it up. It
Yes.
makes more of a fire that is not beneficial.
In the Hebrew edition, it says that Kol Dibrehem Gachalei Resamim, that all their words are coals, burning coals. Shemarbim Ledaber Dibrei Navlus Hapeh. They increase their words of Navlus Peh, words that are improper, profanity. Ulhitlot Seitz Alabrios, and they make leitzanos on other people. So those are two very improper types of things to cause people to laugh and the first thing that he said was that Schok B'Kalos Rosh Margilim Nesa Odom Le'erva. So we could perhaps learn from what that's saying over there is that we're talking about a type of activity of talking and lightheadedness that leads to erva. So,
Which we are told that we should do when we're with our wife.
well, that's not erva. That's mitzvah oina. So that's something else.
Right.
But in other words, it's something that's we're talking about the type of talk and the type of lightheadedness that if it's not done in the appropriate context, like you're saying, in between one's wife, but it's done in a more public setting, or whether and especially if there are mixed audiences. This type of these types of words and this types of lightheadedness is not good. Not a good thing, because I'll tell us that that's what it leads to. So that's why we want to minimize this type of thing. So it leads to erva. It often includes nibble peh, and it often includes mocking other people in the name of making merry and having a good time and entertainment and laughing. But if it's perhaps if it's not in the area, if it doesn't, if it's some well, okay, that's what he said so far. That's what he said so far. That's what I see. Okay, and yeah, fine. And what Meir brought from the Shir Malos, I think that's exactly the place where if we would take a look at this Gemara in Brachos on Lamed Aleph 31a, I think the Gemara in Brachos would quote that pasuk in Tehillim that we say in the Shir Malos, because the first word of the pasuk is Oz Yamalis Chopinu. Then our mouths will be totally filled 100% with schok, because at that point in history, when the Gula comes, then I guess there's not this danger that it's going to lead to erva and nibble peh and being saying litzonis on other people. But we could look up that Gemara if you want, if we have time. We don't have any time today. Okay. We got just 2 minutes. But in other words, it says over there, Oz. Then, when we get to that point in history, then our mouths will be filled with laughter. And then on that, the Gemara infers that until then, then there's we have to be concerned with what the Pele Yoetz is talking about over here. Okay. Very good. Yashir koach to everybody for making the effort to have a full house today. Talking about our mouths are filled with laughter. We have a full house.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Best. Yashir koach.
All right, well,
Mayor, and to Roy, and to Alan, and to Lou, and to Robert, all the way from Orlando.